Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. As we continue our journey through the current Omega watch catalog, today we discuss the most vintage inflected diver in the current setup. This is the Omega Seamaster 300 Master Coaxial, an 18-karat yellow gold tribute to the original Omega Seamaster CK2913, the Seamaster 300 diver of 1957. That was the first dive watch in the Seamaster water-resistant family that first launched as more of a all-purpose dress watch in 1948. Fully sports-oriented by 1957, that seminal reference throws its most important design cues and character to this modern revival, first seen at Bezel World 2014. On my 16-centimeter circumference wrist, it wears easily. The watch is 41 millimeters in diameter, but without crown guards, it wears more compact than that. 48 millimeters from lug to lug, it wears easy on a 16-centimeter circumference wrist, but I wouldn't hesitate to wear it on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Including the solid end links of the bracelet, which you can see extend the watch somewhat across the wrist, it has a robust but not unwieldy measurement of 52.7 millimeters from side to side. The spacing is 21 millimeters between the lugs, a modern measurement designed to keep the watch planted and ensure congruence with modern watch sizes. The 41 millimeter case, slightly larger than its historical predecessor, reasonably slim considering its 300-meter dive potential, only 14.9 millimeters thick, meaning it is compatible with just about any jacket cuff or sleeve. The watch has immense mass, and it's the kind of qualitative heft that feels premium and reminds you, even eyes closed, that you're wearing something truly special. The bracelet is wonderfully substantial. This is where modern materials, fit and finish, take precedence over nostalgia. All the links are solid. They're massive. They're beautifully finished with polish down the center, polish on their outer flanks, and satin finished shoulders for contrast. All individual removable links are fixed by screws, and you can see that there is a generously proportioned folding clasp with a thoughtfully designed beveled and satin finished engraved exterior. Olive style triggers, you must depress both, all of high polish, to release the clasp. It is not friction fit, it does not use a cheap clamshell. Triggers are the way to go on a premium watch. Now you will see internally the extension system is incremental, and you have the ability to go all or nothing for extension over a dive suit, or to size micrometrically without the need for a tool should your wrist expand or contract. You will note that the minimally beveled case is designed to evoke history, and it does so in beautiful fashion. There's a gorgeous cambered arc to the case, mid-case looking almost like a rainbow across the wrist. It has that wonderful arc camber and curvature to it. There is a polished bevel, but minimal, and you'll note that the lug hoods are of polish to contrast with the linear satin of the caseband. You'll also note that the bezel features a combination of sharp coined edge and a polished base cylinder to contrast with the caseband. You'll also note that the bezel, as hallmarked, is solid gold, 18-karat yellow gold. It is the most old school of precious metals, and it's easily the most bold gold. This watch declares itself without being outlandishly huge. It has presence without having excessive avoirdupois. Now, the timepiece does have a wonderfully modern bezel, unidirectional rotating, so you can only turn it in one direction. Thus, if diving, you cannot accidentally extend your dive, only shorten it. And it features a luminescent index that you can line up, for example, with the Dauphine-style minute hand for an impromptu 0 to 60-minute timer. It uses a Ceragold compound material, effectively perma-bonded. The gold is inlaid to the ceramic highly scratch resistant, and the two become one material, hence the term Ceragold, literally ceramic and gold. You can see that there is a cambered sapphire over the dial rather than the vintage plexiglass that would have been used on the original Seamaster 300, though the dial is robustly reminiscent of vintage. Again, materials and functionality are all of the 21st century. Yellow gold hands at center, and you will note an ecru simulated patina look to the subtle coloration of the indices as well as the luminescent swatches on the hands. It's designed to be warm, endearing, and a nod to nostalgia without being cloyingly overcolored or darkened. You'll also note that there's a slight recess of the solid blocks of luminescent material into the dial itself to give it a three-dimensional effect. Quarter Arabics in high contrast white on a blasted matte black base. Legibility is high day or night. You will note Vintage-inspired case flank, no crown guards. For the most part, crown guards are there for worst-case scenarios, but in most instances, they simply encumber access to the crown. So in vintage style, and to your ergonomic advantage, this watch features no guards. Now, turning the timepiece over, you can see that there is a great deal going on the case back, and the first thing you note is that the watch features Côte de Genève in a spiral arabesque pattern, as well as blackened rather than polished or blued screws. Omega effectively forging its own path in terms of finish and style. You'll also note solid 18-karat rose gold winding mass, as well as full balance bridge. Now, mechanically, what you're looking at is caliber 8401. It is a master chronometer, meaning it meets the COSC chronometer standard that most of us are familiar with, but it goes beyond. Rather than being tested in 5 positions, it's tested in 6. And rather than being tested as a bare movement, as in the COSC test, it's tested as a fully cased up watch for resistances, power reserves, 6 positions, chronometric precision. What you're getting is a fully vetted whole watch chronometer thanks to the Omega METAS standard created and administered in conjunction with the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology. In terms of toughness, this 300-meter water-resistant case encompasses a movement featuring a full balance bridge and a free-sprung index, the 2 features contributing to shock resistance. You also have an Omega SI14 silicon hairspring. The silicon hairspring making the watch not just anti-magnetic, but almost amagnetic to over 15,000 Gauss. That's the advantage of the silicon hairspring. It beats away at 25,200 vibrations per hour, which is the unique heartbeat or cadence of the Omega co-axial escapement. So this is a system developed by independent watchmaking maestro, Dr. George Daniels of England. The late Dr. Daniels created the idea, but it was perfected and industrialized by Omega, creating longer service intervals, so you have to service the watch less over time, and better timing, precision, and stability thanks to its low friction. The watch also features twin mainspring barrels and thus a superb 60-hour power reserve, the 2 barrels in series, giving you not just the 60-hour autonomy, which is far more than the industry standard of 38 to 42, but also a very even torque release throughout the duration of the power, so the watch keeps good time when it's fully wound, and it keeps good time when it's almost completely discharged. Finally, you have both hacking or stop seconds, the better to stop every indication on the dial and synchronize to a reference time, and a time zone functionality, so you can actually step the hour hand independent of minutes and seconds to correct your time zone indication as you travel without interfering with the coaxial chronometer precision of the timepiece. This is a polyvalent watch that makes a statement, but again does so with impeccable taste and reverence of history. You can see this nostalgic throwback executed in modern materials, fit, finish, and engineering. Learn more on our website, govbergwatches.com. And I return to you with the Omega Seamaster 300 to display one of the contemporary features of the watch. Rather than radium, as on the original, we have superluminova, and we have differential luminova, so you can easily distinguish the luminescent pearl of the bezel and the critical minute hand for diving duties. They're clearly set apart from the blue of the remainder of the dial. See this one by the light of day and learn more on govbergwatches.com.